Good morning, Rabbi Sai. Lilu Nishmas Imi Merosi Ruspas Mordechai. We have a few very, very chashuv guests. First of all, Rabbi Yeshua Aaron Price was able to make it back from America. He's been gone for close to 2 months. 2 months it is. He thought he's going to fly in and they're going to put him in a hotel. Shalom Aleichem, Rabbi Yeshua. It's great to see you. Thanks for coming back. It was an ace. Everybody that comes off the plane has to go into Malunit. It's a hotel for 10 days. They canceled it last night at midnight. He came in a few hours before that and they said, you know what, we'll do your flight a favor. Had he come in a few hours, they said the flights right before him, they went to Malunit. But his flight was delayed 2 hours, so that delay, hashgacha pratis. We have another amazing guest here in the room. We have here Shlomo Raice. It's his bar mitzvah. He's been learning with us since the beginning of Pesachim, 90-something daf into Bezer. Hey, lanu lecha Yisroel. Seven dive, mazel dive, seven dive, yay, lanu lecha Yisroel. Seven dive, mazel dive, yay, lanu lecha Yisroel. His father tells me that they started Pesachim together. For some reason, his father fell off the bandwagon, but Shlomo's going to get him back on, right? Going to finish Shas together. Can you imagine when he's 20 years old, if he continues with us, 20 years old, he'll finish Shas. I have to apologize. Yesterday, I printed out the wrong one. I thought it's the same one as the day before. It was a different one. It's the same name, same sponsor. Shushi and Joël Mizrahi, in memory of Rebecca Rose, Eli Nishmat Rivka Miriam, Bat David Asher. Rivka Miriam, Bat David Asher. Shlomo should have an aliyah by Yosef Ben-Zev, Yosef Yaakov Ben-Zev, in memory of my dear brother Aharon Tzvi ben Shmuel Zev, Yibal Chaim Tovim. I remember he was just nifter recently, a young guy. 4th Yarzheit on the 11th of Adar, special Yarzheit Shuir on Torah Anytime. Rabbi Sai, check it out, Torah Anytime, with Rabbi Mordechai Finkelman, Rabbi Ephraim Twersky, Rabbi Yoel Steinmetz. It's about Purim. Yosef Ben-Zev, he's the guy that I bought many, many, many houses from. The guy in Chicago, I went to some shul, I said, what's going on there? There's a picture of our shir, one of those, he put it up in every shul, so Yishkoyach, Yosef Ben-Zev. By Yisroel Goldstein, another young person, he says, was lifted here. Lilu Nishmas Avraham ben David Gershon, Yidal Father, my brother that passed away suddenly in his sleep on Shabbos Zochor at a young age of 30. He was a Rebbi in Aish Hatorah. He was Mukariv hundreds of Yiden to the Torah way. This is how, I guess it's Yisroel Goldstein, maybe not. Does anybody know the Goldstein, Rabbi Goldstein from Aish? By the way, I received, I can't tell you how many messages from Yeshua as he was getting on his flight. He said, I don't know what to do. I can't come empty-handed. My suitcases are jam-packed. He's been there for 2 months collecting stuff to bring back. And then he leaves me, don't worry, I got one. This is his hana, Rabbi Sai, this is his hana. What else? I have to open up the stuff here? Do we have time? This is from keshrnafshi.org. Children, what is it? What's the lashon? Struggling children. He made a bunch of these for the olam. One of these is for Nachman Seltzer, it says here. I don't think Nachman Seltzer wants one of these in his house. I think I know what it is here. Oh, it's Nechemia. I was right. He doesn't want one of these. It's a bobblehead of your favorite person.
I would love to have that.
Nah, I don't think so. Akiva, you get one. Get over here, Akiva. Here's another kid that schleps his father. So, I don't see his father here today. Is his father here? He's coming. Okay. Here's Akiva. Come here. Say Shalom Aleichem to the camera. The Akiva Solway. He's been in with us since the first day of brachas. Never missed a day. Right? Have you missed a day? Never missed a day. You're welcome. Who else? Dr. Avi Factor. Let me show the oil what it looks like. Why do you get one?
Because he loves you so much.
This is for his kid. This is for your. So I'll give it to him when he comes. Let me. I'm wrapped up in tachrichim, Rabbi. I said, this is what it looks like. Lost lavoi. Tchias hamesim. What is going on here? Who is this from? Harry Shalom? I have bad news for Harry Shalom. I have something to read for her. Here it is. I didn't know that he's sending anything, but it's a coincidence. There's Rebelli. The Heilige Magachir. Adinenu Merenu V'Rabbeinu Harav Agoyin Tam Chachams with the S at the end. Babel Rebbe. Babel Rebbe, he calls me. This is a courtesy reminder for a picture of the Rav dressed in a Cafe Bustela clothing, pajama, pants, t-shirt, socks, sunglasses, while drinking from the Cafe Bustela cup. We got to Chicago, and there's a box waiting in my house. We open up the box, we're all excited, and we pull out a whole getup of Cafe Bustela. Yellow pajamas, reminding me of what my mother sent me to Yeshiva Tana when I was 10 years old. The whole pajama thing, with the sunglasses, everything. He wanted me to give shir in it. I said, I wrote him, Be'ez Hashem and Purim. This tzaddik, Rabbi Yeshua, forgot to bring it. Bad news. I mean, it's good news for me. Bad news for Harry. I apologize. All right, where are we? We got to start the shir already. Here. When he comes, let me know. Hopefully it doesn't break.
I want to send you the Chol of Stam.
Who sent me Chol of Stam? This is from Mordechai Ashkenazi, Bedafka, because I still eat Chol of Stam, unfortunately. We're going to stop very, very soon. Shkoyach. All right, we have a Murray the Kedaf today. A lot of goodies. I have a new laptop, Baruch Hashem. We are holding today's Daf Tzadik Dalid, and we're holding on the top. Tonu Rabbanan. We're not going to go back. Haya oymed chutz lamudim v'yochel yikanes basusim ubeprodim. If a guy has a car, he has a horse, a mule, and he can get back to the Beis Hamikdash, the distance that we said that's far enough from the Beis Hamikdash that he's not mechuyev to bring his carbon. We don't force him, but he has a car. He has a jetpack, a drone. He could get up there and come real quickly. What's the distance? It's exeris hakosov. It's a certain distance. It doesn't matter how fast you could get there. That's the distance. You are potter. That's it. It's a distance. Exeris hakosov. But he was close to Beis Hamikdash. He can't get in there. There's traffic. There's a traffic jam. Rashi says he has his kids. Like, why can't he go? Let him walk. But he had to come with the larger vehicle, the minivan, because he had to fit his whole family in there. It's again, once you're within the distance, that's it. You have to make it there. You don't have any excuses, traffic, not traffic. And here we go. Okay, so these are all einsim. Yeah. But in terms of distance and vehicles, Rabbi say, this is a sugya that we really need, Dr. Shamroth, the Bala Mechaber, a glimpse of light. It's a sugya that we had somewhat in Masechet Shabbos. It's one of these sugyas that Torah and science collide on a very heavy collision. And I like 2 months, Avi went without a coffee middle shir. Here comes Yeshua. It's unbelievable. I wish I could turn the camera around him. From day one, this is what he was doing. From day one, we missed you. Yeshua, we missed you. Nobody was able to take over his job. I still had to beg for water every day, and there's no coffee through shir. All right. For you guys, it's for me to watch you guys suffer without coffee. You guys are very giddy without the coffee. Hopefully, he puts that stuff in, which he usually does, and it calms you guys down. No, I can't. It wouldn't be the same shear. Liquid Ritalin. Thank you. Hope they didn't hear that. It's so embarrassing. All right, anyways. So, there's a famous Maral and the Ramchal, and I like to go with them because I certainly don't understand astronomy. Panovich didn't have that subject, if you know what I mean. It's things that are beyond my comprehension. So the Ramchal is always of the opinion, Maral, that the Gemara is telling us some big secrets here, Saidais, based on the known science of that day. It makes no difference if the science is correct or not correct. It's a mashal to something greater, something bigger. That's how they learn. Some people say, no, it's literal. So the Gemara says that the sun at night goes this way and that way and hides around the thing. It's a mashal to something else. It doesn't mean literally that the sun doesn't go to a complete circle. It starts making left turns and going different places. All right, Omar Rav, let's see. I missed you a lot, Rabbi Schoenberg. Here we go. I hope you wrote about this. You're not writing about this in the Arya Merkaz? We need you for Benutab, not. It's a great topic. Yeah, so what are you saying? Too long. If it's too long for you, that means 75 pages minimum. Because your typical Dvar Torah is 5 pages. Well, I don't know what too long by you means. Okay, wow. Yeah. Yeah, Chacham Yisrael and Chacham Goyim. Yeah. Okay, but that could also be b'mashal. That could also be, and it seems like the Chachmi Goyim and that machlekes were correct in a way. That's what it seems like. Okay, let's see. Amar Rabba. My point is, I'm not going to be able to explain anything to you. You'll have to figure it out all yourself. Shita alfei parsa have alma. The world, says Rava, meaning the distance that the sun travels in the atmosphere as it goes through the world is 6,000 parsa, which is, we said yesterday, a parsa is 4 mil. That equals a 24,000 mil. Based on just raw math, approximately 15,000 miles. It's not so far off, though. We're going to see numbers that are very far off of what we know today. The world is 20-something thousand miles, so we're talking about even just how it travels maybe through our atmosphere, not so much China, whatever. What we know is 15,000. Okay. Usumcha de Rekia, and the thickness of the atmosphere, alpha parsi, is 1,000. 1,000 parsi. Once the sun goes behind, by Shkia time, sunset, over there, 1,000 parsa. Says the Gemara, Chada Gemara, V'chada Svara. The first part, that the sun travels 6,000 parsa, that he got from his Rebbeim. V'chada Svara. And from that we built, logic tells us that the sumcha, the thickness of the atmosphere is 1,000. Why? Like we had yesterday. I got my printer to work again, temporarily. It's not fun. I said, let me print 1 or 2 pages. I went to the sink, turned on the hot water, rinsed out the heads. It lasted today. I had to pick which ones I want to print. They all printed. Okay, very, very pashut. As we said yesterday, you can go 40 mil. From here to here is 40 mil. 40 mil. From here to here, 40 mil. How do you divide it? The first part of the day, from Alois to the Nates, is 5 mil. A person could walk 5 mil. A person could travel a 40 mil distance in a day. All you do is divide. From Alois Acham, from dawn to the Nets, 5. From Shkia to the net, to Tzeis, is 5. You're left with 30 in between. And so, in other words, from Chatzais to Shkia is 15. From the nets till Chatzais is 15. Okay, that's one way to look at it. The Gemara is going to slug this up. So what did we learn yesterday? Kama mahalachot meirim b'yoyim asar parsais. 10 parsa times 4 mil is 40 mil. Right over here. So from here to here equals 5. You could travel 5. And on the other side of the day, from Shkia till Tzeis is 5 mil. So if you take this amount, 5, divided by 30, is 1/6. 1/6. So Memela, if I could walk 30 over here, and from here to here is 5 mil, this right over here is 6,000. From here to this 6,000. So this piece is 1/6. Is 1,000. You're asking, how did I get to 1,000? Because again, from here to here, 40 equals 6,000. Rava says 6,000 parsa. 5 is 1/6 of the 40 of the 30. And Mamela, that's how I got to 1,000. In other words, when I see the sun, when the sun is visible from Netz to Shkia, 1/6 is 1,000 parsa. All right. Now the Gemara goes to town on Rava, doesn't like it, slugs him up. It's 1/10. He changes it up slightly. In other words, this amount remains the same. A person can walk 40 mil. But what he does is he gives a person 4 mil from Alois Tanetz and 4 mil from Shkia Tetzeis. So if we take 8 off of the 40, we're left with 32. 32, 4 into 32 is 1/8. The Gemara calls it 1/10. Why? Because perhaps they're including this also. That's not the point there. The point is that there's 32 mil over here, and it's 4 and 4, not 5 and 5. Okay. Kama mahalo chodem beinoni b'yoyim, 10 parsois, 40 mil. He just changed it up from 5 to 4. And again, once again, we have 4 mil, not 5 mil. If you take this number, 4, divided by 32, is 1/8. And he calls it echad ma'asara. The bottom line is that it's not 5 mil, it's 4 mil. It's not 30, it's 32. Tiyufta de Rava, tiyufta de Ula. So we have a bam kash on Rava, bam kash on Ula, tiyufta. That's it. End the story. Says the Gemara, Leimet heavy tiyufta de Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yochanan is the one who we had yesterday. He's the one that brought this whole thing of a person can walk 40 mil, and Memela you have 5 and 5 and 30. So it's a shaila on him. Isn't he the one that said 5 in the morning, 5 in the afternoon, and 30 in the middle? So it's really a kash on Rabbi Yochanan, not so much on Ula and Rabbah. Says the Gemara, I never said how to divide the 40. I said it's 40. I said a person could walk 40 mil. They went, Ula, my Talmidim went, and they figured, it's 30 in the middle of the day, plus 5 and 5 on each end, together it's 40. They made a mistake. In other words, Ula, he timed it. He sees a guy showing up at Neitzacham and Shul. He says, where do you come from? I came from here. A person can travel 5 mil. What he didn't realize is that the guy didn't start at dawn. He started before dawn. And the same thing is, people were traveling past Shkia. They don't stop their car at Shkia. You still have time. You still could see. You could still go. So they went a little bit more. The 5 mil was with added time before and added time after. In fact, Rabbi Yehuda is right. A person could only travel 4 mil from dawn till nights. Ula saw 5. He timed it wrong. The guy started out before dawn. What about Rabbi Yochanan? Rabbi Yochanan never said how much a person could travel before and after. Rabbi Yochanan only said 40. Ula made the wrong breakup. He broke it up in the wrong way. That's how the Gemara is going to answer Rabbi Yochanan. This is what I could answer for Rabbi Yochanan. He's not here to answer for himself, but this is what we could do. Fine. What about, yesterday we had, in the Pasuk, the Gemara brought that light went from Zdaim to Tzoyar. And Reb Chanina went and checked the distance, and he saw it's 5 mil. And it says in the Pasuk that light left at dawn, and he arrived there at the Nates. And Reb Chanina said it's 5 mils. So you see that you could go from dawn to Nates, you could walk 5 mil. No, but over here, Rabbi Yehuda says it's only 4 mil, not 5 mil. Says the Gemara, Leimet hevet to the Reb Chanina, Loi, Vayoyitzu Shani. It says by light, they rushed him. They were rushing. They were if you run, then you could accomplish 5 mil. But a typical person accomplishes 4 mil. I think we should jump to Taisus for a second here. Second Taisus. Why? Because this is a Welt Daf. This is the famous machlokes that Cholei Yisrael has, or machlokes minhag, old minhag. Rabbi Schoenberg is makbid on this minhag. A lot of people are makbid. 72 minutes on Matzah Shabbos, 72 minutes on a fast. Where does it come from? This daf right over here. This is where it is. There's a few other places maybe. It's Shabbos we had it. So look at Taisus real quickly. Does that sound familiar? The Besoy by Madlikin, he was the greatest Baal Taisvis. Omar, all halachas went like him. And that was the halacha. It always was the halacha that we're makbid on Rabbeinu Tam, 72 minutes. So why is it today not so much so? Because of the guide. The guide came to Eretz Yisrael, or he didn't come to Eretz Yisrael, but he came, and the halacha was established in Eretz Yisrael like the Vilna guide. So he took away. But in Europe, people were always makbid on 72. The Shulchan Aruch only brings the halacha of the Rabbeinu Tam. Doesn't even talk about what the guide says. But like many other things that we have, that we do today, we don't even realize, but it's because of the Vilna guide. Like Birkas Kehanim, like many other things, they don't say Baruch Hashem La'olam and Ma'ariv, etc., 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 because the guide's instituted minagim that the Olam was Mekabel. Kosher Tam, so Memadikin Omar Eizu Ben Hashmosha is Mishetishka Achama Kozman Shevei Mizim Adimin. The Rebbi Yehuda, Umaskin Awesome. The Ben Hashmosha is the Rebbi Yehuda plus a Rivei Mil. In Shabbos it says that Ben Hashmosha is 3/4 of a mil. Over here we're saying it's 4 mil. What's going on? The same Rebbi Yehuda that says over there it's 3/4 says over here it's 4. There's two types of shkia, says Taisus. There's one that it starts going down. Until night, until complete dark, there's 4 mil. Over there it's talking about the end of shkia until it says, and over there it's talking about the beginning of shkia. The bottom line is that this is Shitas Rabbeinu Tam. And more, let's just one other point. According to Rava, over here it says the daytime from here to here is 30 mil. Now, how much is 1 mil? So 1 mil in 12 hours, 30 divided by 12 hours, is 24 minutes. According to Rabbi Yehuda, divided by 32 is 22 and a half minutes. But the Rambam holds, why am I saying the Rambam? Because the Rambam holds that you divide it by 40. The entire, like with the alois, with everything is 40. So you divide a mil, the 40, into 12 hours, and you come up with 18 minutes. That's where we come up with the 18 minutes. Why do we use 18 minutes? We use 18 minutes l'chumra, for Pesach, for matzah. We're always going to use the more chumr mil. If it's a chumrah to use the 22-minute mil, then we use the 22-minute mil. If it's a chumrah to use the 18, we use the 18.
Why wouldn't you divide by 40?
What?
Why wouldn't you divide by 40? That's the full day.
No, the days when when we see the sun. When the sun travels over the earth. Not before, not dawn. That's Rashi. Rashi and the other Rishon. I'll go upon him. This is where, now, by the way, there's a Uraim, the Mishnah Berurah brings a Uraim that you should start Shabbos, for instance, 3/4 of a mil before Shkia. So that makes us, you can't do Malachim, he says you should be makbid on it. So you're supposed to be Mekabel Shabbos a little early, so Mekabel Shabbos like by Lukas Ners or whatever, so you can be makbid on this Uraim. Not 5 seconds before Shkia coming out of the bath, certainly not to do the Raices, 3/4 of a mil before. Okay, let's go weiter. That's that in a nutshell. I'm sure there's so much to say over here on Tam, and Be'ez Hashem, Rabbi Schoenberg is going to write a piece on this one day. A kitzer piece. Tashma. Mitzrayim ayor arba meis parsa al arba meis parsa. Mitzrayim was 400 by 400 parsa. Mitzrayim echad mishishim bekush. And Mitzrayim is 1/60th of Kush. Now Kush. Mahoidu at Kush. Purim. Ma'amishin Yonah D'Yoyma. This Kush, somewhere like Nigeria, 60 times the size. Now, some say it's the length, 60 times the length. That would be very problematic. Some people say it's the surface area, which is less, 60 times that. And Kush is 1/60th of the world. And that's 1/60th of Gan. There's plenty of room, don't worry about it. There's plenty of room for everybody in Gehenim. It's huge. And the entire world is just like a small little... Yeah, I know people are worried. What are you going to do? All the Rishayim all over the years. There's plenty of room, don't worry about it. And the entire world is just like the cover to a pot. The pot is referring to Gehenim. So, if you do this cheshbon, that we are Mitzrayim is 1/60 Kush, and Kush 1/60 this, it comes out that the smallest cheshbon is 42,000 parsa. Where did Rava come up with 6,000 parsa? How could the sun travel 6,000 parsa and cover this tremendous amount of land that the Gemara is talking about? To Yufta, Bam Kasha, Tashma, the Tanat Be'elio. That's, by the way, I think that should be the name of my sefer, not Gilu Elio. Just kidding. But it wouldn't be Gaivadik enough. It was Tanat Be'elio. Rebbi Dasan Oimer, Cholei Yisrael. Cholei Yisrael kuloi tachas koichav echad Yosef. Civilization, the Yishuv. Now, it seems like from Rashi that he's learning that the world was flat. It seems like that. But all of civilization could fit under one star. When I was a kid, traveling with my parents in the car, I told my dad, what's going on here? Wherever we go, the moon is following us. I was staring at the moon, and the moon's just going. Like, we're going flying. The faster he went, the faster the moon went with us. And he said, all you need to do is stop looking at the moon. Stop looking at the moon, it won't follow you. That's what the Gemara says over here. Wherever you stand in the world, you can move around, the star is going to be in the same exact spot. Meaning that the star could cover the world, could cover the universe, could cover civilization at least. It's interesting to see in Rashi. What happens with the rest of the world? What's the rest? Oh, the rest is oceans and deserts, places we never went to, we never got to. You have to understand, they didn't have America then, they didn't have anything. They were there. What? Oh. Where am I? He stares at one star. If he goes eastward, it's still in the same spot. Wherever he goes, it's always there. And by the way, there's so many more stars. We know there's no end to the stars. That's one star. So how can you tell me that the entire world fits into 6,000 parsa? Tiyufta, Tashma, Agola, Betzafon, Egla, Agla, Betzafon, Taurus, Va'akrov, by me it says Agola, I don't know why. Va'akrov, Badorim. And Scorpio is in the south. So you have Taurus in the north, Scorpio in the south. There's some sort of picture, by the way. There's a beautiful, if somebody wants to look it up, in the Masifta, in Masechtas Rosh Hashanah, he has a whole sefer there about this stuff, crazy amount of pictures, explains this whole sugya, great stuff. Ayin Shams. I stole it from there, I got Rishos, I have Rishos. Anyway, so I took it. Here's Tleh, which is Egla, and here's Akrov. It's always going to be to the north, no matter where you look at it. Fine. It only takes 1 hour. The sun comes in to civilization for 1 hour. In other words, the sun is overhead, right before Chatzos, a half hour, a half hour after Chatzos, it's on top. So it only takes it an hour to pass by civilization. So Mela, once again, you have these constellations, you have all the zodiacs and everything, and they're all there, they're all in the same spot, they're all on top of the world, and you're telling me it's 6,000 parsa? Can't be. Toshma, Domer B'Yochanan ben Zakkai, my tshuva, Hishavtoi bas Cholei Yisrael Rasha. What did HaKadosh Baruch Hu answer that Rasha Nebuchadnezzar, who wanted to be like HaKadosh Baruch Hu? B'shosha Omar Ela al Bamasi of Adam el Elyon. Let me be like one of the gods, like a god. Yatsa bas Kol V'Omer Loi Rasha ben Rasha. You're a descendant of Rishayim. Turning to Daf Tzadik Daled Amud Beis, sponsored by KesherNafshi.org. Schos, where's that mask? Schos. I don't know where it is already. You have one. Oh, here it is. It's right here. It's yours? Here, you can get a new one here. KesherNafshi. Schos for the struggling kids in pain of Cholei Yisrael. Okay. Did it. He asked me. No, he didn't ask me to do it. No, there isn't. There is. Oh, jacket is good. I messed it up. Hey, you get up here and do it.
I know you're always with the face. So.
Yeah, always with the face. And for Refuah Shelayma, especially from our MDY family, please consider joining MDY Tehillim group at tehillim.8mindaf.com. All right, how's it going, Shlomo, so far? It's good? Gewaldig. Okay. The Ben Benoy Shel Nimrod Rasha, he's a descendant, not literally grandson. Many generations later, Rasha. I want to point something out, very interesting, that if someone were to call their kid Hitler, Yimach Shemai, there would be an uproar. If somebody called their shoe store Hitler shoes, be an uproar. Look at this, here at Eretz Yisrael. Yeah. There you have a shoe store. Nimrod shoes. The guy is one of the biggest Rishayim that ever lived on the planet Earth. It's a common name by non-religious kids. Nimrod. Based on what? The guy, very good prices. Shkoyach. It's an outlet store, it says here. From the biggest Rishayim in the same realm, he Shehimrid as first guy to ever decide to wage war against HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shehimrid is kol ha'olam kuloi, olai b'malchusoi. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, he went against me. Dar Flaga built a tower. I'm saying, if you Amar, it's in Nach. Oh, Nimrod, it's a Nach name. Great. I think I should call it. It sounds good. Esav. No, Esav, nobody. I think they're not that big of Amorats in these guys. Yeah, like that, they kind of, you're right. I hope the same guy that came, remember that guy that made that video about Ezekiel bread, that I changed his life, he thought it's so healthy, and I hope he didn't call it Chas V'Shalom, like maybe you know some people, make another video. A person typically lives 70 years. To get from here to the sky to the Rikiah is 500 years. Says Rashi, and we know that the distance from here to the Rikiah is the distance of the circumference of the world. It's 500 years to go around the world. So how can you say that we only have that 6,000 parsa? This is all HaKadosh Baruch Hu telling Nebuchadnezzar. To get to the level, you want to build a tower to get to me? What are you, crazy? 500, I mean, I'm thinking to myself, how tall is that tower even? Like 20 stories. They don't even come close to what we have today. 100 stories, 115, whatever that tower in Dubai is. Another 500 years, times 7, 500 years. You know what? I have a better idea. Let me put you down below a little bit. It's closer and easier for me to get you there. El Yarka say bar. To Yufta. The end of the day is at least 500-year distance, the circumference of the world. I guess it depends how you travel, with the donkey, over the mountains. So it can't be 6,000 parsa. Over here, I have to tell you right now, I have no clue what's flying. I'll just show you what I see here. Where is this? I'll show you pictures, maybe you'll figure it out yourself. The air. This is the rotation, the axis of the celestial, I forgot what it's called. I have it written down somewhere here. Sphere, right, celestial sphere, great. Yeah, Mom, and so, Rabbi Yehuda Lefkovich taught us that, so over here you see this beautiful picture from the Mesivta, with the zodiacs on them. You have Tleh, you have Dog, Scorpio, all the stuff. Question is, does the whole circle move with the zodiac in them, or the circle move, but the zodiacs stay in one place? They have their own little orbit. They circle in this way, but they stay in one spot. But it has to do with how the sun moves as well. Here's the sun going this way a little bit on an angle, on a 23-degree angle, and that's why certain times of the year, the kids, everything's on an angle and it messes things up, not for my kind of head. This circle is stationary and the mazalois, they turn. That the constellations over here, these let's take one, Shapsai, Scorpio, whatever, stands in one place, but the whole thing keeps on moving. Okay. Omar Rebbi, Tshuva l'divrei. What? Could you circle back to that? Great. No. This is the stuff I try to move forward. Tshuva l'divrayim. I have something to explain them. You never fakert. It's a kash on them. It's always the same. Like we said before, if something is in the north, it will stay in the north. If you're telling me that this whole band constantly moves, so then you should see a shift yourself. When you look up in the sky, you should see the whatever it is, Scorpio, move as well. But it doesn't move. So the chayr is like the Jews say, the Chachamim say that it moves, it does move, but within its own little orbit in one place. As Rashi explains it, it goes to another planet and does its thing and comes back, whatever that means. They have the mills made of two stones, there's a piece of metal there. So the metal doesn't move. I thought it's something like this, I might be completely wrong. It's like, in a playground. You sit on this thing, if you move, you think you're moving the wheel, but really you're moving yourself. The rechayim, the mill is moving, the metal is stationary. In other words, it's all relevant to what, maybe you're moving and you think that the other thing is moving. Maybe they're moving and you're stationary. How do you know? You're in space. You don't, something like that. What are you saying, Rabbi Schoenberg? It's all relative. I use that word. Baruch Hashem. Okay, great. Maybe it's similar to the pin in a hinge. Oh, that's right. How are the guys on Zoom doing, Rabbi Isai? You guys are less confused than us here, right? They're saying, yeah. Daron Kornbluth says he has no idea what's flying. Is that what you just said, Daron? All right. I hope somebody understands this better than me. It's all Soidus. That's why I go with the Soidus. Chacham Yisroel Emrim, Bayoim Chama Maleches Lamata Min Arakia. What happens to the sun when it disappears, Rabbi Isai? Do we know what happens to it? We seem to know. We think we know. So the Chacham Yisroel say that the sun disappears underneath the Rakia. Ubalayla Lamala Min Arakia. So during the day when it goes down, you don't see it, it's Lamata Min Arakia. Ubalayla Lamala Min Arakia. So they both seem to agree that during the day it goes lamata. The question is at night. At night, the Chacham say goes above the Rakia. The Chacham say, Bayom Chama Maleches lamata min Rakia. Ubalayla lamata min akarka, goes below the earth. Rebbi v'nirim divrei midvarenu. They almost make more sense than us. This is machlokes and rishonim. If he's actually saying that they make more sense, he's saying, look, it seems like they make more sense, but we are right. Something like that. During the day, the waters are colder, and at night, they get hotter. So it depends how you learn. This could be a nafkamina lahalacha, b'mayim shalanu, because if you say that during the day it's hot, so you need a full day, a full night to cool off your water. You need mayim shalanu, mayim that rested the entire night. But if you say that during the day the waters were cold, so grab it right before Shkia, and you should be fine. During the summer, like this depiction over here, this red, is this the right, am I holding it right? Yeah. So this is during the summer, Tammuz, so you see that the sun is higher up in the atmosphere than over here, for instance, or over here it's much lower down. We're almost done with the sugi, by the way. That's why there's a lot of heat in the world during the summer. It takes longer, I guess, to go around the hemisphere, and therefore there's more heat. In the winter, it's all the way down here. It's lower because of the tilt, the axis, the whole thing. And that's why the Mayan, the water sources are hot. There are 4 paths that the sun takes. Nisan, Iyar, Vesivan, Ma'aleches, Baharim. When it comes to Nisan, where's Nisan here? Do I have Nisan? Yeah. Yellow is Nisan. So it takes the path, the route of the mountains. In order to melt the snow. Tammuz over Elul, those 3 months, Ma'aleches B'Yishuv, over here, the red line, it goes through civilization, Kedei Levashel Sapeiros, to make it better for humans so that their fruit is nice and ready. Tishrei, Marcheshim, and Kislev, Ma'aleches Bayamim, Kedei Leyabish is the Nahares. Tishrei, the green. It's green, it goes over the rivers to dry them out. There shouldn't be that much water there. Shouldn't be floods. Tevis, Shvat V'Adar, right now, where we are right now, Malachs B'Midbar, it goes in the desert. Shlul Yabish is Azroim, in order not to damage the plantation, the seeds. Rebbi Eliezer Oimer. That's it. Okay, fine. These are things we could understand easier. Rebbi Eliezer Oimer means skufas. Once you're outside of the Beis HaMikdash, that's it. You're rachai. You're not mechuyev to come back in. Says the Gemara, it's not fair. He's right there. Tell him, take 2 steps, you'll be inside the Beis HaMikdash. Why are you potter? But we have something else that says, Orel, it seems like the censor put this word in here. It says on the side, the censor put the word Yehudi. It was supposed to be Orel. And Orel would be referring to every guy, and the censor was worried that it says guy, and they're going to be all upset at us, that we say, oh, all goyim are chayiv karas. So he's stuck in Yehudi Orel. The point is, it actually is a Jew that's an Orel. Shleimal, onish karas. If a Jew doesn't get a bris milah, he could get a bris milah. His brothers didn't die. He could get a bris, and he didn't. And because of that, he cannot eat korban pesach. He gets karas. The Rebbi Eliezer. Amar Abai. So memela, the kasha is, how come when a guy doesn't have bris milah, you say go get a bris milah? You force him. A guy is 1 foot away from the Beis HaMikdash. You say, oh, he doesn't have to. What's the difference? Says Gemara Abai. Derech rechoyko letar. Derech rechoyko letamei. Somebody that's tamei, so he's waiting to become tar. He's missing something. He's waiting to become tar. Similarly, a guy has bris. He's waiting for something to happen. You're mechuyev to make that thing happen. If a guy is tamei, he can't force time. He can't make it be nighttime that he start. So you wait. But a guy doesn't have bris. He can force himself to have a bris. There's no heter in the Torah that says if you can't do it, you're potter. There is a heter in the Torah that if you're far away, you don't have to. Torah says, if you're far, what's far? 1 foot away is far. I'm not mechuyev to put myself in that position that I'm chayiv. But there's no heter for a guy that doesn't have a bris. That's not far. He's missing something in his body. So take care of it and you'll be chayiv. Rav Omar Tanoi, Sanyo. Relez oimer nemar richuk magim bePesach. V'nemar richuk magim beMeiser. Here, Meiser Sheni, right? On the 1st, 2nd, 4th, 5th year, you take a Meiser Sheni. You have to separate 10% and give it to yourself. It's very far away and you can't carry it. What do? You flip it into money. But it says in the pasuk, it's far away. It's difficult for you to get there. So this is the same concept like korban pesach. So it says by pesach richuk magim. So over here, what does it mean? You can't eat it. You're outside of Yerushalayim. Afkan chuz lachilasoi. Where do you eat the korban pesach? Yerushalayim. So one man, the Omer says, in Rebbi Eliezer, he meant outside Yerushalayim. Rebbi Eliezer, Rebbi Yehuda, Oibim Shum Rebbi Eliezer. Again, in the name of Rebbi Eliezer, same Rebbi Eliezer, chutz la'asiyasoi. Where do you make the korban pesach? You make it inside the Beis HaMikdash. So once you're 1 foot out, 1 inch outside the Beis HaMikdash, you're potter. We said, if Cholei Yisrael is 50-50, but where's the 50-50? He says they have to be inside the Azara, because once you're 1 inch outside the Azara, you're already a Rachaik. You're a Rachaik. You're not part of the count. We're counting people that are available to do the korban pesach. It's very interesting. So, if you have a big chabura of 25 people, and you have one person, what's the word? He's there for them. He's representing. One person representing the group. For Panovich, it's huge. REPPRIST, whatever. W somewhere. So you have one guy representing the whole oilam, and he's inside the Azara. That's it. You can only count him for your group of Tahirim. He's part of the 25 people. They don't count. They're outside of the Zohar. So who does this go like? The Rebbi Eliezer that says Yerushalayim is what we count? Or is it the Azara that we... Obviously, it's the Azara that we count. He's the one that said that it's the Azara. Let's do two more lines. We're almost there. The Torah says you're far away. No, far away typically means 2-3 days away. It doesn't mean 1 minute. A funny lashon. It's to tell us that derech is not that far. Derech is 1 inch outside of the Azara. Have a wonderful day. Shira ma'alois mivam kim krosicha adoy noi. Adonai shema b'kolit, Yinei zach b'shavaz b'kolit. Ima benes shema yo Adonai mi'amoid. Timcha slicha l'man tivorei. Kibis Adonai givson amshiv l'dvorei cholti. Nashil Adonai, yishemru naboy yishemru naboy. Chein so Adonai kim Adonai chesed v'abel v'dos. V'uv des Yisroel mekar ben Yosef, achenu kol beis Yisroel, anasun b'tzor v'shim yoim dem beim bayim mishamokim.
Imagine what
it'll be
would be like.
No
medicine, man.
Now Zoom time. I can't talk before. I can't talk after. So you have to. How you doing, Reverend Bernard?
Looking in for printers for yesterday. If you want,
Let's talk after Zoom. You'll be around, yeah? Maybe. I can't believe it. Levi! What are you doing over there, Levi? You're in an ambulance? Baby? Oh, Mazel Tov Shlomo. Today's the bar mitzvah. Stick it out. There's going to be hard times, you know that. There's going to be camp.